Om Gang Ganapataye Namah, Sri Gurubhyo Namah, hariom. In the preceding recording, the modalities to embrace the blissful state were discussed, and say there is a clarity about what is that path. But however, there are impediments which are inhibiting us to be placed in that path and also reach that destination. How? This actually there are tracks at the tracks which are binding to the known domain, that is body, mind, intellect and material, and which is by default ruling. Now we want to undo this one, and it is feasible logically, but the force is more. Now this path of bliss, de-identification and affirming oneself to be knowledge, and knowledge is unlimited, I am unlimited, this state of awakening, this is basically at a conceptual state. It is not reality. It is like a tug of war where majority are pulling on one side and it is a minority. Now this has started. Now definitely that force on which it is heavy, it will tilt. That is binding us to lose ourselves, step down from our awareness, state of consciousness, where the three faults, I am existing, I have knowledge, my knowledge, these three things, and then with that knowledge he is knower, he is a doer, and he is identifying with the known, and he is conditioned by the known. That known is nothing but body, mind, intellect, material and deeds, actions, all these things. Now this is a starting in the sense we have comprehended, yes, the reasons we have diagnosed. Reasons are that certain tracks, certain feelings, certain emotions, certain tracks, feelings. Actually mind is nothing but words and forms, and then the entities pursued through our sense organs, all this is a one cluster known domain. Now it is the concept to understand it when somebody is no more, and everyone definitely would outwardly share life is short, we are all mortals, but it is a concept, not a reality. If it were to be a reality, definitely the conduct, behavior would not be as prevailing, means so much of attachment, what not, because helplessly for that 2 days one sports a depressed face and one is hurt, and there is all round a kind of a dispassion, but it is not the reality. It won't last for more than few days. Why? The force, why there is a force of identification with the body. That's why now we have to constantly affirm to that state of that we have to build those tracks. It is like a program, so many iterations it is there. All these thing downfall means diverse from the knowledge, I am existing, and I have knowledge, my knowledge, all those things just touched upon. Now the otherwise tracks have to be continuously reveled upon. Now this is now we have to source these regularly, but then is it feasible given one's disposition and with this like a rat present day of life, when there is a more force of the mind, confrontation, challenges of the material life, Is it feasible? Can we bank on to these thoughts? What are those quick we will focus upon? This thing have been that path to blissful. Now the cause for the victimization owing to the identification is becomer of the known. So quickly we are identifying the cause. It is due to attachment with the known, and then first relief is we are knower logically by all means, and then we are knower, and as a knower we got to be other than known, and then knowerhood is linked to knowledge, then knower, and then possessorhood is also relieved possessor. Whatever is possessed, it owes to its existence the either conscious knowledge or power. So it belongs to them, being the derivative formations of that root substratum. These are its expressions, reflections. So that it is these ought to that root 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 means constituents. So it is, so we are relieved from the knower to knower, and also from the possessor. Now the state we are placed is the me and my knowledge, me and my knowledge, me and my knowledge, me followed knowledge is not logically, because knowledge cannot be my knowledge and I have knowledge. These are actually redundant, impractical, irrational, and the otherwise sounds logical. Knowledge operated. Knowledge is directly immediate expression is I am, and knowledge is directly operating as I am. And here we have touched upon few examples. Now the thing, the correct link is established. Knowledge as revealing as me, but there is a volumetric contrast, and presently I am is confined to the body contours, limited, and knowledge is all pervading, and it is formless. Now we have to validate I am not limited, because knowledge cannot be two, and I am not limited, I am unlimited. This is the run up to track the bliss, that state. But now the impediments are the kind of a force of the our mental dispositions, and these dispositions would definitely checkmate us if we try to categorize the mind and its dispositions. One is we are one arthakama, the pursuits of fulfilling our materialistic life, pursuits, and these pursuits, if these pursuits are actually like a instruction manual for every equipment. The manufacturer gives a booklet, how the operating instructions are maintenance manual, and that is how that equipment should be operated for TV or mobile, whatnot. So that is the ideal way. Like that, human life also, for our patterns of disposition, our talk, our actions, our body indulgences, our pursuits for arthakama means earning money and fulfillment of desires. Certain protocols, SOP exists, standard operating procedures. These procedures, when they are like a do's and don'ts governing anything, so those do's and don'ts. And now it is difficult. One thing is we are caught up totally attached to the sensory life, materialistic life, and within that the pursuits are either do's and don'ts are complied, and the other option is do's and don'ts not complied. The further devolution is for tracking the forbidden ways of thinking. So this pattern, depending upon that force, definitely it will inhibit the person to even to revel upon those discussed affirmations to connect to the higher self. Now, how to maneuver? First, we have to calibrate. We have to conduct an inner audit of our disposition. The cause, like atom model discussed, are we in a positive domain or negative domain? Positive domain means we are connected, we are integral part of the nucleus, and that is the seat of power or wielder of the power consciousness bliss, and we will be reflecting. And negative means we are displaced. Now that negative is don'ts, the uh, the channel, which is the channel of don'ts, and positive is do's. These are all non-injury that there is a separate. Those are traits of positive, negative will revel upon. Now at this stage, if you are finding a mind to be full of agitations, agitations due to intense pursuit of the sensory life, prosperity, and trekking uh, right above the laid down procedures, and then are trekking forbidden procedures are more devaluated. Now these are presently unsettling us. Now it is now we have to find a way, because unless we are, you see, like a vehicle gears, 1 2 3 gears, if one is too many obstacles, means intense buzzing activity of the mind, one has to resort one's own choice of the loud prayers or chanting to quieten the mind. Then this is at a gross level. Then next two, phase 2 is to mentally resort to some practice which would further quieten the mind. It is in that third state, because mind also alpha, beta, gamma, certain, the hertz, the mental, the activity is codified, means it is the intensity, the frequency of that one. When bodily it is quietened uh, from intense to moderate to mild state. In that mild state, when it is quieted, these affirmations one has to develop on, so that each time this set of affirmations is contemplated upon, then the contrast tracks will be erased. How many contrasts nobody knows. It is like I have to reach a person who is placed there. It's about 10 kilometers. Now I have to continue to walk till I reach. After reaching face to face the destination, see the person, no more I need to walk. Similarly, these these anti tracks have to be undone. We have to reprogram. That is the reason, though most of the people are also aware, but they are deprived of this state, because the the journey is has not started. Everything is known. It is like somebody is operating on the plane. It is revealed that 100 feet down there is a treasure. Now unless you dig, you cannot access it. Like ignorant who is on the plane, who is poor, and this person, the other set of people who knew that there is a treasure, but without without that buried part being removed, you cannot do it. We can, like that, take examples like that. If we equate the higher life trekking to the destination to the terrace, the default state put to confinement to the known domain, body mind intellect material, is a basement. Now we don't know how many floors we have stepped down. Now we have to climb up. Each time you are climb up, we are distancing from this one. So the tracks, it is the tracks, the emotional, the subtle body tracks, which are otherwise pushing us to the lower levels of identification. they have to be undone through this process. Otherwise, this is said in a way to revel upon, actually with awareness. So, like that, and till when we have to do, when that new that tracks, they are our reality. Now, the inverse of it is reality. I am body. I am very much identifying with the body attributes which are not acceptable to me, and my requirements, my expectations are not catered by body, neither body, mind, intellect or material, and I am getting some kind of a consolation in deep sleep when none of these are there. But deep sleep, one limitation is there is no awareness. That means the knowledge, consciousness. Now, the state of consciousness in deep sleep, that is the state of ascension, of beatitude, of blissful. That is the right of every human being, and we are endowed with that equipment, tools, requisite tools to gain it, to grasp. That is Viveka. Viveka means discrimination in the relative life, do's and don'ts, in the other life, changeless, and real, and transient, fleeting. So, the force now we have to identify our state of the mind. If then there has to be an internal audit, we have to shuffle from, we have to set our target. That target, this arthakamas, nobody can deny, but is it occupying our totally prime time? Because we don't know the thing. One fact has to be kept, is like that snake is hold in its jaws is holding a frog, and frog is caught up in the worms in front of it. Now this is uncertain. So arthakamas, but our destination is a totality, completeness. Now we nothing wrong to pursue, and we have to ensure that these are as per this one permitted ways, and there has to be internal audit. These qualities which are do's and don'ts, they will be dealt upon, and they are enumerated every scripture. There is a good and bad, right and wrong, in a correct way. Of thing is, of the righteousness is, as one treats oneself, treat everyone in every aspect of it. This is perfect, and way these protocols we will dwell upon, but in a way we have to be conscious. We have to be very sensitive, alert to our indulgence of the mind, our actions, our pursuits in our earning, in fulfillment of thing, because these are blockades. The these are blockades. Otherwise, these are stepping stone if it is were to be right disposition. Now, it is one analogy sounds well. These affirmations, all those knowledge, all these of the thing are like seeds which yield us the phala, fruit of immortality. But if the soil is not ready, now here most of the people are denied of their divine reality. If the soil is not ready, conducive, it is not properly done, then we cannot, though these seeds have gone, there won't be yield. So one thing is, inner cleanliness is must and should. Then only in that serene state, these affirmations could or they serve as a seed, and it will reap the fruit. In the event of in the intervening process, if there are agitations, we have to definitely use the at physical level loud prayers, and at certain level certain mental at mental level to acquire with some austerities of one's own. But the thing is, when mind is calm, then we have to do this one, because that alone, those tracks, that is the beginning of the day of the journey into this bliss. That it is already held. What is denying us, we are trying to undo. Example, deep sleep, we are we are folding, we are folding the in a way, wake state means wake we have body, and that is folded, that is relieved, decoupled in the dream, and there is a mind. Uh, there are emotions, they are also folded, and deep sleep, no mind, no body. And this is only a trailer given to convey to as a pointer of that state. And once in that state, that has to be our reality in wake state. If that is awakening, that is the path of bliss what we are. Now Godhood is, say, the very God, G-O-D, God, means these three letters are like we say. An example, it is a mnemonic, it is an abbreviation which stands for that substratum, uh, which is to which entire creation owes. What is that? The attributes of God are definitely contrast to what is its creation. Creation is many, God is one. Creation is changing, God is changeless. Creation is micro-bounded, finite, God is infinite. Creation has form, God has formless. And everything, creation has got emotions, God is Nisankalpa. So everything, if you want to understand God principle, and creation is moving, God is non-moving. Why non-moving? There is none other than Him. He is achalam, non-moving. He is substratum. So God, to know the God, the non-God things cannot reach. That's what is in this process. We are trying to this bridge the gap is non-God. We have body, God is niravayava, means partless, and we are, so it is to get to connect to the Godhood. So non-God, we are trying to come out. It is like there is a stone, monolithic stone, and you want an idol. So we are chipping out the non-God, and then that idol is created. It is not that idol is already existing. So it is completely covered with the non-God particle. Now we are chipping out. That chipping out is these pursuits, which are, it is, the word is an indicator. It is like we say, you example, USA, United States of America. That word is not it is an indicator pointer. Pointed, indicated is entirely different. It is a country with so much geographical, so much whatnot. It is a volume of the pointed. Like that, God is to which He is, to which He is a creator, to, and creation owes to it. Creation, sustenance of the creation owes to it, and it will merge back like an ocean. All waves are sourced by it, are survive, are held, hosted by the thing, and merge back. That ocean in this balance is like knowledge and prakasha and shakti, and waves of shakti are gross manifestations at individual level body, physical body, at macro level. It is five elements, and five elements means sorry, this earth, and earth, water, air, and fire, and akasha. So this is waves at the power stage, and at the light stage they are all the illuminated names and forms. So these are the waves. Like WebGR, they are the waves of the light. Like a film reel which shower are projected, they are waves of the light. So like jnana is immediate wave, reflection is I am. So now the waves, the jnana wave is it is unaware, it is getting diverse from its jnana, it is getting entrapped in the other waves. They have no knowledge. Actually, they have no knowledge, and this identification is happening because of failure to connect to the root reality. So the waves of I am being wave of the knowledge is traced to thing, and it is and then the waves of power, that is body and thing earth, whatever these elements, they are traced to the power. They are our like dream, our emotions. It's only play of light. They are connected to the light. So the latter two, the waves of mind, emotions, waves of power are jada, means they are known inert. Way of jnana has to definitely inherit jnana, that is I am and awareness. So because it is unable to behold that state, it is getting connected to the waves of inert, and then it is getting itself conditioned by them. So it has to dissociate, it has to connect. That in this process there can be impediments, and those impediments are owing to disposition of the mind, as then they are they will be upsetting plan this plan. So we have to, as we had just seen before, that gear vehicle, uh, first gear, second gear, third gear, depending on the state of the being. If it is too grossier, too heavy, too heavy neuro indulgences, one has to have some remedy, some find out. Then these affirmations one cannot, definitely would not, is not feasible, and also not doesn't work it, and like that we have to do it. Exactly, it remains like in our thing, in our in our thing, it is normally given dial 100 101 102 in SOS. Like that, we have to be alert to state of our mind. Is it right? Yes. It is. What are its pursuit? It has to be told with viveka, and that its pursuit are futile. It is its intended purpose. It is all the pursuits of a fish on plains seeking solace in the thing in the desert, and it is thinking. So basic bare minimum things can be done pursuing respective protocols. Then even that what we say is a drop of out of peace is there. Now even by trekking to the yielding to the dictate call of the mind, one has aggrandized all these things also. But three things, you see, by following the protocols, we may get a pause in from our pain, but by defense of these protocols, there are three things happen. If we are in the pursuit of artha kama, means prosperity and thing, the uh, the resultant effect would be three things uh, will elude: peace, contentment, and happiness. And these three things will percolate to the body, ailment, disease, and all these things will further lead to consuming more life force and allocated, and then there is a premature death. So there is no point in making over over feverishness in this pursuit. We have to, that subject will take it up in a at length, in a very subtle way. This mind, it's play of its mind play of its mind. In fact, this will have a larger effect in our journey to the infinitude bliss, which is very much feasible. And then but it is linked to the journey is linked to like this. The one example, like we have to reach a person to 10 kilometers. If the road is totally blockades or there are so many hurdles, then definitely we cannot go. We know that path, and how to know? We have got the vehicle, but the vehicle and the en route is very much is offering all blockades, definitely go. So mind has to be understood, that my that thing. But the clarity comes once we are into we are aware of the play within the mind, because that's why to learn the mind is an important thing. It is a catalyst in this journey, as the emotional intelligence. Intelligence means ability to learn. Now, ability to learn. So the learner is definitely placed there at a different plane and learn thing. Now we are conditioned by the known. Knower is one who is learning the known at the grass level and at the emotions level, and learning the emotion means we have relieved, and having relieved, the learning is possible with knowledge. We are again tracing back to that knowledge to its root. I am not. I have knowledge. My knowledge, or knowledge having me. That again, that 180 degrees turnaround. We are again breaking that zincs. That is a very big puzzle. Me and knowledge. One one quick capsule of in the previous one we have taken the examples of light, ink, chalk piece, those things. But one more thing to convey, but unipolar attributes of me and knowledge have been. Take one example. It is only to make so for easy comprehension. Say the sugar, glucose out of the glucose uh, liquid glucose thing, we have with a pattern, we have made the words I am. This is a molded I am. Now I, we will take one letter I. This I, letter I, made of this is a solidified form of the sugar, liquid sugar. Now this the I containing an entity is objectionable, because it is sugar which is operating as I, and I has no existence apart from sugar. Now if it says I am existing, that is what is I am ahamasmi. I am a thing. Now this I am existing, this sugar made sugar sourced letter I says, then that is one that is one farce. Now this I am existing, I have glucose, my glucose. All these things are utterly ridiculous. I am existing, sugar sourced letter I is it is indicating, it is surfacing as I am existing, objected, I have sugar, objected, my sugar. These three things are outcome of I due to its failure to connect to its constituents, composition, ingredient. Now, who has to claim I, that sugar? If that sugar does, then that is the game is thing. Now, this turnaround is that this I has no existence apart from this sugar. Now, if we trace the constituents of sugar, glucose to C2 thing, carbon, those three components, they are very little thing: existence, knowledge, and power. So like that, the word sugar is an indicator. Here sugar is visible, it is only an example, but in present the constituents, they are not visible. The same way existence exists, and awareness, light, whatever, power. they are invisible being so subtle. All this is only for churning of our thing. We get it with intellect. Now intellect takes a lead. Intellect is a driver. Mind is a tool, and this process, intellect, which is serene, and viveka, it is an easy thing. And now these are the impediments which are coming the way have been touched upon. Now one detailed we will take up the topic mind, because it is all said, it is all only mind, the divinity and God hood. It is like a monolithic stone is that non-God part is mind. It is a grain of rice grain, that skin is mind, and rice is God, and Godhood, and this allied entities, the being. Now being mind. Minus mind means it in this thing it is not to be physically removed, but it is only a state of our awareness with which we can do. Because that is a known, it is easy to de-identify. Both are mixed. So it is Viveka which plays a crucial role, and but the destination is bliss, which is everybody's right, human beings with Viveka. So we will touch upon the next topic of mind. That is very thing. Mind and protocols governing the mind. Because like operating a book or instruction manual, which adherence to which will make it optimal functioning of that equipment. Similarly, even mundane life, these protocols, these criteria, these SRO statutory rules governing the deployment of the body, mind, and pursuits to earn money or make prosperity and lead family life. All these are coming under two things spelled do's and don't. Like constitution guiding a country, conduct rules guiding an employee, and operating for instrument. Now here, whenever do's are not done, there is a pain. Now even otherwise in this our mundane life, do's not done is pain. Do's don'ts done is happiness. Now it is like God principle is like a principle of the soil. Soil, yes, felicitator, but 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 the seeds are the decider. Now, however we may worship it, however we may pray Mother Earth, but if we are sowing the bitter seeds, they are seeds of thorn. The fruit is a thing. We are, and if we are sowing the fruit seeds, we are blessed with fourfold thing. So the protocols of the it is a seed. This seeds, choice of seeds, and this process of is mind. So the mind, if it is understood, and then there is a peace. Levi said bliss. Bliss is the next state, because mind reflects. Mind reflects, imports. Mind imports. It is like a thing through a light. A light. There is a bulb. Now light, if it is a black bulb, then total light is robbed. The contrast of this light is bliss. Now total light is robbed. That is what is we have seen, that negative pattern means forbidden pattern. Now opaque. It is opaque means where it is arthaka, materialistic, whatever, but following certain protocols of thing. Partial thing come when it is clean light. We are intending into this blissful hierarchy, and even that is outgrown. One connects one to one, oneness with that light, beatitude, bliss. That is the state. Will now here the most critical thing is the mind and play of its thing, which and by understanding it, we will be getting upper hand. We will focus on to it in the follow-up talk. Hariom.